The large-scale sandbox mode comes to Star Wars Battlefront 2 sometime in February. Based on how updates normally are, this will likely be the late period of the month, so probably about week 4 as usual. It also comes with Anakin Skywalker as the final hero for the known Clone Wars ones, and the 501st Clone Legion as the final clone piece of customization. The large-scale Conquest-like mode is something I'm very much looking forward to, and no doubt many others are too. But how exactly will it work, and how many players will it hold? Well, no one knows yet. EA and DICE have hardly said a single word about this new mode, other than its large scale where you take capture points and destroy enemy capital ships. Obviously this is still pretty vague, as there are a few ways in which this could work. Now, I've come up with 3 ideas for this, and one is pretty similar to another however. Also, in terms of player count, I'm hoping it will be at least 32 versus 32, otherwise maps will be extremely empty, like Kashyyyk for example. So my first idea is simply just taking command posts that are placed around the map, and by doing this the enemy team will lose their tickets. As their tickets are depleted, their capital ship will slowly be destroyed. So once an enemy team loses the game, their capital ship will obviously just be completely blown up in some sort of cinematic cutscene at the end. Now that's basically just the standard conquest from the OG games, like Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, and the Battlefield series, so it's not really anything new, and there's no real differentiation between it. Now whether this is realistic I'm not too sure, and I don't want it to be honestly, because I want to be able to interact with the space battles as well. So I'm hoping DICE can bring us something different there. So what could differentiate them? Well, it's Star Wars, you have big space and ground battles, ships flying everywhere, troopers getting killed all over the place, just a lot of chaos on the Battlefront, which would be a lot of fun. Which kind of brings me to my next idea, and this is that we have space to ground combat. Conquest, obviously command posts will be placed around the map that you're going to need to take, whilst capital ships can be destroyed in space at the same time. So once the enemy team has destroyed the capital, like for example if your capital ship is destroyed by the enemy team, your team will essentially lose like 300 tickets or something, depending on how many tickets you have overall. Like if you start with 1,000, maybe you lose 400 even. I think that would be, I think that's kind of a fair amount, maybe 300 depending on how far along your game is maybe. But again, this would kind of be like Elite Squadron, so there's no real differentiation there. Obviously Elite Squadron is a Battlefront game that came out many years ago now, which was a lot of fun. It had space around combat and everything. Now whilst going through this, actually I had a different idea for kind of a different conquest mode. So my third idea was initially going to be simply, instead of space to ground, it would just be sky to ground, so it's nice and simple. The transition going to space to ground on the Frostbite engine could be very, very tricky. So that's kind of my idea for that. But basically what you could do is have the space battle that takes place first, and then if you win, like once you finish the space battle, you then go on to the ground battle, which I think would be a lot of fun. Actually, it would make games last a long time. I think it would make the Battlefront more engaging overall. It'd probably feel like Star Wars as well, especially if there was some sort of proper dialogue to go along with it. I don't really know. I mean, if they can make it like story-based conquest, I think that would be incredible. It would really immerse yourself in the Battlefront. So we can only hope, and that way 32 versus 32 would actually make sense. If it was a standard space to ground kind of mode with a smooth transition and everything, I would probably want it to be at least like 48 players per team, because that way you have to accommodate space and ground at the same time, and it could be quite tricky in that sense. And the servers may not really be able to hold it, so they've never really done 32 versus 32 before. But guys, that is pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think the large scale mode could be like. And if you did enjoy this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. It really helped me out a lot. Thank you all very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you always. The survivors are running.